Huahui village is located in Suzhou, Jiangsu province. Differs from other places, it's corporately managed by 3 administrative districts. It can be seen from this map that the most obvious one in the site is elevated highway, which reaches up to 4 floors. However, the elevated highways exactly enclose the site. At the same time, the site is also encompassed by the rivers, which lead to the boundaries that separate the site from other districts. As a result, you can only enter in the site with limited entrances. According to the interview with local residents, over 80% of the residents in Huahui New Village are migrant workers. These workers come from all over the country, especially Anhui and Jiangxi province. Therefore, the types of restaurants here are various and varied, such as Nanzhou noodles, steamed bread, and Humingting FL. When we try to use the way of snowball to gain insight into the local people, we found that their relationship were only limited to their neighborhood nearby. Actually, every family has at least 2 children. There are 4 main housing types here: residents covered by factories, flat, the apartment for the past staff working in the chemical fertilizer plant, and the residents developed by the developers. As the data shows, the housing here is abundant by the market. Even the price of housing developed by the developers are much lower than average standard. The site has no attractiveness for the consumers who own the purchasing power. In addition, the average housing area per person for the migrants is low. A family has 7 family members, and the average space is less than 10 square meters per person. From the current land use map, we can conclude that commercial and residential usages are the main land types. The previous chemical fertilizer plant has closed for a long time, and currently only 1 factory exists. In addition, governmental function also occupies a considerable part of land, such as the jail and the place for vehicle application. Let's zoom out. It can be found that many factories surround the site. 71.8% of the migrants work in the factories and engage in the labor-intensive industries. This whole district is surrounded by the elevated highways and railways, but limited green space does not function well in absorbing the noise. Sometimes it becomes very crowded when trucks transport goods.
Following picture showing the real situation of this area.
According to the results of interviews, the living environment could not meet their satisfaction. For the adults, they have to put their attention on their business, and they couldn't continue watching their children, so safety of their children is one of the concerns of them, and they are worried about their children playing outside.
Highly mixed use function of this area and the diversity of people are 2 important sources of creating the vitality in this area. However, bad living environment and limited public space are 2 weaknesses of this district. In addition, we found water and abundant space could be utilized to bring the more added value to this area. Lack of social integration with local community nearby. It has potential to become city slum in the future. As we can see from the diagram, the percentage of the floating people continue increasing year to year. Anhui, Sichuan, Hunan, Henan ranked top 4 in exporting the migrant workers. Compared to other cities and provinces, Jiangsu province is not charming enough to attractive migrant workers. But in the future, migrant workers will be dominant in fostering the economic development. So, how to attract migrant workers to stay in Suzhou become a good question. In the following stage, we seek the answers for following two questions.
在沙中路的悬崖边，我拍了拍你的头。